City of Stevens Point Park Board meeting, recorded January 2nd, 2019.
Tom, you want to call the roll?
Freckman.
Here.
Gladusky.
Here.
Hall.
Here.
Alderman McComb.
Here.
McDonald.
Here.
Alderman Oberstadt. O'Conick.
Here.
Alderman Zelinski. Smith.
Here.
Sorensen.
Here.
And Kirsch is excused. It's his birthday today.
No excuse.
Heidi is in Colorado.
Okay, that's right. She did call me.
Okay, item number 2, approval of the November 7th, 2018 minutes.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that passes. Now, item number 4, starting the process of naming new rails to trail.
As part of our policy, when we have naming, we have a procedure, we solicit names or for facilities, or let's say the trail here. We could probably run an ad, put something on the city website. I put the naming policy in front of everyone, you can see. After that, when we get in some names that are recommended and reason why somebody would recommend them in writing, then we would discuss it at a future park board meeting, make a recommendation, and then move that on to the council. So, you know, the trail is, the granite's down. We got that down, but it froze before they could get final grade and rolling. So this spring, they'll come in and do final grade and roll, but otherwise the trail is ready to go. So, and they plan on having a type of opening in April where they're gonna open the rails to trail the end of April, along with the new Green Circle segment that changed and went through the old Whiting Mill. So we'll put those both together in April, have an opening. So,
Tom, can we go again exactly where that trail runs from?
it basically starts from Bliss Avenue by the dog park, and it runs all the way down to, in Whiting is where it stops, where the Green Circle Trail crossed the railroad tracks. If you remember, if anybody's been on the Whiting section, you come up that hill and cross the tracks. That's where it dead ends, right there. So it actually connects to
Where
the
did that
Green
land
Circle.
come from originally? Was that
A railroad
consolidated,
property.
or was it railroad?
Yep, it was the old railroad. It's been abandoned for a number of years, and I think about 2 years ago, they pulled the rail out. So there's been no rail there for about 2 years.
Okay, that crosses H.
HH, crosses HH.
And remind me again, or remind us, who is taking that segment out on HH?
The county,
The county.
and it's
yeah.
already out. They
It's
took
out
they
already.
took the rail out probably a couple months ago. That was their contribution to the rail, the trail section, was removing the rail and HH.
So it would be appropriate to have a motion to proceed with
Yeah.
the process.
I will.
Oops.
Mike.
Sure, sure.
I mean, I don't think this is maybe, what you just said there, the appropriate time. Maybe this would help in not going through the process of naming the park. And Tom probably knows what I want to speak about, and that's Sloman Park. I think this commission should be looking at the parks and how they're used, what they're used for, if they're used. If they're not used, maybe we need to do something with them. Maybe putting it back on a tax roll. Maybe whatever. Tom's still cutting the grass there, we're plowing the snow, we're salting it, we're maintaining you're gonna probably have to replace the playground equipment also. But it's not used, it's totally empty. I have never seen anybody there all summer. I drive by there frequently. I've been asking other people. Nobody uses it because they all go to the famous Mead Park. And I agree, I wouldn't go. Why would I go to Sloman Park? So I would ask that some kind of a real good effort to talk to the Sloman family and find out if they would be able to agree to swap. In other words, their park name and put it on the rails to trails, called Sloman Trail. Leaves you the problem of naming the trail. Also puts the, they'd also have to, I don't think they have to agree or not because they're using it for a park, but put it back on a tax roll, you'd make about 10,000 a year taxes if they put a few houses there. It's kind of common sense to, if it's not being used, why are we cutting the grass? Why are we fixing the equipment? Why are we doing this? Because we don't want to lose any parkland? There's nothing to lose. There's absolutely nothing to lose there. Should be doing something for the taxpayers. It would pay for all the maintenance at the new Emerson Park and probably some money left over to help with the trail. It would just better serve the public to do, to use it for, collect some taxes on it. I'd really like you to somebody look into that, whether it be the chairman of the committee or whoever, talk to the people and see if they're game, if that would work for them. Because Sloman Park, nobody knows where it is. I asked a couple of aldermen a few years back, when they came on the council, well, Sloman Park, geez, where the heck is Sloman Park?
When was that park designated? Do you remember a rough year? I mean, they used to have an ice skating rink there, I
Yeah.
remember as a kid.
It was before me here, so 60s, I think, 70s.
Is there a way we can put a public, I mean, I guess I.
Well, first of all, this isn't an agenda item.
No, I'm
so
just-
We're talking about naming the trail, and we're getting way off.
I'm
Yeah.
concerned, this is
Far
in
afield.
my district,
Yeah.
and nobody has,
Yeah.
we've got anecdotal reports of it never being used. We know how much cash is used, but
Right.
this is not suitable for discussion tonight.
Yeah, furthermore, I think before we address an issue like that, it's got to be in the agenda, so, I mean,
Yes,
there
yeah.
may be
That's what-
opinions that we're not aware of, so.
That's
We
why
can
I
do
was
this
just
in the
bringing it up,
future.
because if you thought about doing this before you entered into doing the process, at least talk to the people about this, you wouldn't have to go through the process. That's all I wanted to
Yep.
say.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see, do we have a motion?
I'll motion.
Okay, you move to proceed with
Yep.
this process.
Second?
Okay, Mike seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
So, one
Yeah.
question, now, this will be on some future agenda
Yeah.
then?
Yep.
Next month or 2 months down the road or
Yep.
something? or-
Yeah.
Will also be on the agenda for the Bike Ped Committee next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. What were they gonna do with it?
Well,
Oh, okay,
it's the Bicycle Pedestrian
Okay.
Safety Commission, so, yeah.
Okay.
We'd like to talk about it.
okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Thanks, Mike.
Zena.
okay, the update on Zenith Park Turf Project.
As you remember, the first time we bid out Xenoff Park, it came in way over budget. So we rebid the project, and we bid it for construction of August 2019, completion that fall or early spring. When we opened the bids, it came in under budget this time. Softball Association has raised somewhere around 580,000, maybe 560 to 580. The bids came in with contingency around 540. So they would start construction in August and finish it probably in October is the plan. It would be AstroTurf would be the turf. We had 4 different turf surfaces. AstroTurf was the low bid. For the construction, it's H&H Civil Construction. They were the same crew that did Gerke Field, put the base down for Gerke. So we're familiar with them. And that's their expertise, is actually putting the base down. This will go in front of Public Works this month for final approval.
And this is for all 3 diamonds?
3
right?
diamonds, just
In the
the skin
infields.
part, correct.
So, Tom, what's the difference between the turf they'll put at Xenoff and the turf we have at Gerke? Because the turf at Gerke's field turf, so what is the difference?
Well, this turf, field turf could do it too, but the infield at the Ball Diamond is denser and shorter. So it's built more towards for baseball and roll. And the good thing on AstroTurf, they are probably one of the better ones with baseball turf, because they're more designed for that. And then they're also in where the batter's boxes and areas where it wears out, they're kind of Velcroed down, so you just pull that up when it wears out, put in a new one. And it's designed to have, I think, 5 different pitcher mounds, because we're going to be dealing with little girls softball, slow pitch, fast pitch, so there's quite a few. We'll go with one batter's box, because we can't put 6 different types of batter's boxes, because once it's lined, and they'll have to deal with that. And most of them will be able to. And we did meet with girls softball to talk to them about, helping. That came up before about donations towards it. Little League's putting donations, and there's other groups donating, so. So we'll have to address fees like we talked about a couple months ago as it gets done. So,
I assume that the people that use these, that play in these fields and that are satisfied
Yes.
with it.
it's really going to help on rain.
Do you happen to know what they have down at, was it the one down in Boston?
I don't know what surface they
There's one
have
at the
down there.
Dells,
Yeah, the
too.
Dells, they have the whole thing,
Yeah.
outfield and everything,
Yeah, I was down there this spring,
yeah.
down at Boston, and it's pretty nice. I mean, it was
Yeah.
raining, and we had snow here, and the kids were out there.
Right. That's the only thing I have to update for Xenon, so.
Okay. And we have an update on the well.
Yeah, and I can't remember if the update last time, Fendorf is the contractor that got the low bid. They're currently doing the Century project. And they'll be working with Minnesota Ice, which will be doing the actual concrete and everything down below ground. And Minnesota Ice is known for putting in the surface. So we wanted at least a 5-year or 5-project background on anybody doing the ice surface, the concrete and the pipes, because once that's in, it's in, and you can't fix it. And then they built rinks all over the place. So even though Feindorf is not a rink builder, they've subbed out somebody who meets our criteria. That one, again, came in under budget. What I'm looking at right now is the boards and glass. They have to be removed. The quote we got for removal was $22,000. So what we're trying to do now is find a way to recycle that plastic and the glass. I've checked, the plastic is the plastic number 2. So that is recyclable, but currently there's no money in plastic. So it's not like we can take this off and sell it to try to recoup some of our costs. But I did find out that Create, they're getting a 3D printer, and they need type 2 plastic. And they actually cut the plastic up and melt it, and they make different things out of it, benches and stuff. So I met with Greg today and said, if we can't sell this, because we need to generate some money to help pay for the cost, we'd be willing to just, if they bring the people with the drills and take the screws off, it's their plastic, they can keep it. So that's an option. The glass I'm having problems with. I thought we could sell it to like Esser's Glass or Gary's Glass, but it's tempered glass and it can't be cut. So, and right now glass is worth nothing, and I checked with Melissa, Alderman Johnson. She runs the recycling in Marathon County, and tempered glass, they can't recycle it because of the way it's processed. It burns too hot and it could cause problems. So we're going to be working between now and April to figure out a way to get rid of the glass and maybe not have to recycle it by throwing it away. That's my hope.
Rink construction somewhere.
Yeah, the problem is the glass is specifically like 4 feet by 6, and if it doesn't fit in, we're going to try that option too. Even if we have to give it away to someone, it's better than us landfilling it, because at $32 a ton,
Yeah.
it's a lot of weight.
Well, that stuff's kind of, all marred up too from,
Some of it is, some of it's pretty good, because it's not the plastic, it's glass, so it can be cleaned. So that's what we're working on between now and April. How do we get rid of this stuff and not spend money to get rid of it? So, and that project will start April 1st. The contracts are all at Findorf right now, so we're waiting for them to sign them, execute them, get them back to us, and then we can get the stuff ordered, because there was a lead time on the compressors.
You know, if you want to get rid of it, probably just put a thing, free glass, and there's somebody out there that will take something you don't want.
Yeah. And that may end up being that.
I thought that the high-density polyethylene was able to, that there was more of a high interest in that.
No, when I checked with Melissa today, she said
She
there's
said
no,
no?
there's no money in it
Oh,
right
that's
now,
too
the
bad.
plastic.
Yeah.
So, and if this will work for them, because they actually grind it up to melt it, so it's sheets, they can just run it through the shredder. So, and then we can actually recycle it. They're gonna make benches and different things out of it, so.
Okay.
Okay, director's report.
From the forestry part, we just bid out tree removal for next year, went out to 5 local contractors. Only 2 responded, so that'll be on Board of Public Works. Todd had submitted for Tree City USA again. They're out trimming trees right now because we don't have a lot of snow, so it's actually good. We're not trying to remove snow. We're down to 550 street trees, ash trees left. So we made our goal. And those 550 trees, most of them are on streets that are proposed for reconstruct. So at that time, we'll just remove them. And the other one is North Division Street. We did not treat those trees because, again, that's in the future for construction. So if they catch the disease, we'll just take them down at that time, but otherwise, we'll just leave them up till that happens. The winter sports area, of course, we were open for 1 weekend, and since then, it's been bad, and it doesn't look like it's going to get much better, so, in the next couple of weeks, so.
2 very different long-range forecasts for the winter. All depends, it's the polar vortex versus El Nino. So,
You'll probably get the cold weather in April.
Yeah.
Snow.
20 inches of snow. The last thing I have, I gave you a handout, and Liz brought one too. There's a community conversation on January 17th, 6:30 to 8:30 at Midstate Tech College. The city has hired Vanderwall to do 2 plans, master plans, one for the Business 51 corridor and one for downtown. And the downtown plan, they're kind of tying the riverfront into it a little bit too. So it would be important, I think, that if you're there to get your input on, because the Park Commission is the one who sets the plan for riverfront. So, and they realize that, but they think downtown and the riverfront should be tied together. And I think everybody believes it would be nice to tie them together, but there's different schools of thought on how they should be tied together. So it's probably important that you show up. Liz is actually on the big steering committee, and Mike is the backup person, so. And
Which big steering committee?
Michael Ostrowski had put one together with,
For,
for this.
oh,
group.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
There haven't been any meetings.
There has
yet.
not been a meeting. This will be the first meetings here. And there'll be several, from my understanding, several community meetings. This is the first one.
And where is that going to be?
Midstate Tech at the
Oh,
college
Midstate,
downtown. That's a
Oh, yeah.
Thursday, the 17th at 6:30.
Okay.
And they're just looking for community input. So that's all I had.
okay, well, a motion to adjourn would be appropriate.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.